Hi, my name is Michael, and welcome to my workspace. So this is the first video of a new tutorial series that I'm starting called Let's Build Stuff in Python. Now, Python it has taken over the development world in recent years by storm. It is virtually being used everywhere. And so it started out as a programming language for kids, and now it has grown to being used by veterans developers. Big, huge organizations are using it, like Netflix, YouTube, Instagram. It's being used in virtually any industry: video game making, video game development, web development, data scientists, machine learning, building robotics and artificial intelligence. And it's just a really nice, friendly, easy to learn language that you can use to, even automate some of the daily boring routines tasks that you have. Automation. So in this first video, I think we'll build a game, something simple, a guessing game, and later on we'll end up building like full blown web application, maybe even an e-commerce website. So yeah, let's just get started. All right, so here we are in my desktop. I'm using Windows for my development because that's what I do. That's what I use at work. I'm a software engineer at a multinational company. We're based in the U.S., but we do businesses all across the Americas, in Asia, in Latin America, in Canada, and yeah, it's just and Python is being used everywhere in my company. So I thought I like to teach and I like to learn. So I spend a lot of time learning on YouTube, learning on the World Wide Web, and just being involved. And now I want to give back to the community by making videos and creating new contents for you guys to also learn the way I have learned. All right. So enough rumbling. I'm going to go ahead and start off a new working directory, a new workspace, you might call it. And let's see where I'm at. I'm going to go to this folder, VS Project. I use VS Code for my development. I've used Atoms, I've used Sublime, I used IntelliJ, I used Eclipse before, but I like VS Code. This is a lightweight code editor, but it has a ton of features that I just think that nothing else can match it right now. So I'm in this directory here, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder. Make there. Actually, I have a YouTube folder. I'll just go to YouTube. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder. And I'm going to call it Let's Build Stuff. I'll just capitalize it. Why not? Let's build stuff. And like that, I'll navigate to that. So let's build stuff. And I'm going to create a new Python file. Since this is a game, I'm going to call it guessing game. Can't think of anything else. So guessing game.py. All right. And we're going to go ahead and open this file. Well, I'm going to create something else. I'm going to create a new text file. We're going to call guessing same thing, guessing game.txt. And this is where I'm going to do my pseudocoding, just basically outlining what kind of, how we're going to plan out making this new guessing game application. So this is the way I like to start any new project. Instead of jumping right into the code, I like to write something down either on a notebook or in my notepad, or even a whiteboard, or even just a plain text file. So I'm going to open up VS Code here. Okay, so we have two files here: the actual Python script itself, and then a TXT file where we're going to write our pseudocode. So in here, I'm just going to map out or plan out how I want to create this game. So let's create something that we need. So we'll need a game loop, obviously. number. We need a guess. I also want to have a guess limit, because if this game allows you to guess forever, I mean, what's the point of having this game? You have to have a win condition and also a lose condition. And a lose condition is to give you a set number of guesses before you lose. And what else do we need here? We need some sort of logic to check if our guess is correct. And I think this might be it. I mean, it's a pretty basic game, but yeah, whatever. It's fun. And then later on, we'll make more complex, full-blown programs. So I'm just going to copy and paste this into our guessinggame.py, and I'm going to go ahead and make this. I'm going to use this asterisk here. Now, the reason why you're seeing this being highlighted in a different color, because I have an extension called Beautiful, I believe it's called Beautiful Comments, and it basically, just makes your comments stand out more. So I can do this, and it will make it red. So yeah, if you wanna download that extension, go to the extension marketplace here and look for. I guess it's called Better Comments. So Better Comments is what you're looking for. This thing right here. All right. So enough about that. Okay, so we have that. Now let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put in some docstring here to give a little bit of information about this little game. I'm gonna call it a guessing game in Python. And I'll give you some more information here, metadata if you want to call it. An author, myself, so Michael Lee. YouTube is Michael Workspace. And lastly, a version. And we just use the Python version 3.7.3 because that's what this is. If you want to verify what version you're on, I'm sure you know how to do this. If not, the way you can find out what version you're using, well, VS Code can tell you right here. But if you're not using VS Code, then you can just type in Python version, and it is Python 3.7.3. It's the latest version. And all right, so let's go on. Let's create our game here. I'm going to go ahead and put this game in a function to run it to begin. I'm going to call it begin game. For now, we'll just put a pass so that it doesn't give us, annoying error message. And then we're going to do this very common practice is to check if name is equals to the dunder main. If it is, then we're going to go ahead and begin this game. Call this function begin game. All right. If you don't know what these are, this is just these are called dunder methods or magic methods, and I won't go into the details over here, but basically, if you've done any sort of programming in Python, especially if you work with classes, then you should know what this is. So now let's go ahead and add some coding logic to this function. We'll begin with a game loop. So I'm gonna call. I want to create a variable called game running. I'll set it initially to true. And yeah, we want to do that. And then in here, I'm gonna say while this is a game loop. It's a while loop. And then I'll say while game is running. Then we'll create a guess variable here. Is going to be taken in the user input. So we do the using input function. Say, please guess a number from 1 to 100. I think that's good. That will make this game quite difficult. And then we need to actually cast this as an int, because every single inputs is a string. All right, so now that we have a guess, we can say if guess, we actually need to create a couple more variables here. I'm going to go ahead and say the correct number outside of a function. Correct number equals, and right now I'm going to hard code in an actual number. I'm going to say 55. But later on, we're going to implement something that's make this game more interesting by having the correct number be a random integer. So it's the Python program, this script would automatically set a random integer to this correct number, so we don't have to hard code it in. And we're going to be using the random module for that. So now that we have the correct number, we can do a check. We will check if guess is equal to correct number. Then we're going to go ahead and print out you guessed it. Good job. And from here, now that we got the correct answer, the game is over. So we have to actually set the game running variable now to false. All right, so that's that. Else, let's go ahead. What else are we missing? We need a guess limit here because we need to decrement our guess limit so that we have a way of losing. So in here, I'm going to also create another variable called guess limit. It's going to be equals to, so let's think here. Our game is having us guess from 1 to 100. How many guesses is, make it relatively not too difficult? I think maybe let's set it to 5 for now, and then later on when we play the game, we'll see if 5 is enough. Because remember, we're also gonna. Actually, I want to add one more thing to this list here. Is a hint. We'll implement a way for the game to give us a hint if we guess incorrectly, and the hint would just say, hey, you're too low or you're too high. That way, this makes it easier for us. So now we're gonna go ahead and say else. First thing we need to do is decrement our guess limit variable by 1, and then we'll go ahead and print out wrong. That is not the correct number. Please guess again. All right, so we'll do that, and then we'll use our hint. We'll implement our hint now. So we'll say print. Well, before that, we have to do a check. So if guess is less than correct number, then print the hint. Hint, guess higher. And then we'll do an else here. Else. Let's see how this should do this. I'm just gonna say print guess lower. Guess lower. And at this point, we need to do another check here because we need to check if we've reached our limit. If we've reached our limits of guessing 5 guesses already and we are wrong, then we need to, say, that you lost, and then we'll end the game there. So here, we're going to go ahead and, let's see, if guess limit is 0, then we'll print out you are out of guesses, game over, sad face. this point, we will also need to set the game running variable to false. Okay? And I think, let's see, did we miss anything? Correct number, we got that, game loop, guess limit, logic. Yeah, we got everything here. Let's just make sure our program runs now. So I'm going to save it. I got a couple syntax error, indentation error here. Why did it do that? I don't even know. Yes. Oh, that's why I missed the very simple stuff here. Sorry. You guys are probably screaming at me. I was too busy typing and trying to explain that I missed a very common semicolon here after the else clause. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run this program. I'll go in my terminal here. I'm going to say Python guessing game.py. All right, so please guess a number from 1 to 100. I don't like how this is on the same line here. So I'm going to say 50. Wrong. That is not the correct number. Please guess again. Guess higher. And say 10. Okay, this is bugging me. I'm going to go ahead and close this down because it's on the same line, and that is making it difficult to read. So here where it says, please guess a number from 1 to 100, I'm going to put in a new line statement there, and also I think I also want to add it here and here as well. Give it some separation. Okay, let's try this again. All right. That looks better. Please guess a number from 1 to 100. Now remember, our number up here, we hard-coded it to be 55. So I want to test out our guess limit now. So I want to see if we can go through this loop here, this while loop, and decrement our guess number by 5 each time. And when guess limit is 0, then it's going to say you're out of guesses, game over, and the game is over. So let's just test that. So I'm going to say 40. Correct, please. So it says wrong, that is not a correct number. Please guess again. Give you a hint, and then give you a new line. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So say 60. And now that we're too high, it says guess lower. So 57. We're still high, so it say lower, 56. And obviously the number is 55. I want to say 54. Yep. And it says you are out of guesses, game over. So now I want to do another check to see if I get the correct number and how this game will behave. So let's run this. Take a guess. I'm going to say right to 55. You guessed it. Good job. All right. So our game is working, and that's what we want. But let's go ahead and implement this random logic so it gives some randomness to this game here. Otherwise, it's going to be the most boring game you ever played. So what we need to do is we don't need this anymore. And so from random module, or from the random module, import ran int. And now, because now that we have that, we can replace we can do this right here. So we'll say to set, where's our number? Here it is. I was looking at the wrong place. So correct number equals to ran int. I'm gonna pass it in. I ran in from 0 to actually from 1 to 100 because they are both inclusive, and that's what we want. And that might be all we need to do here. Let's make sure that this works. Let's see how hard this game is. Go back down here, run our game. So the easiest thing to do is just go right to the middle. Round that is not the correct number, guess higher. So then I'm going to go all the way to the next middle. So guess lower, 65. Guess lower, 60. Guess higher, so 67. You are out of guesses, so that's not correct. All right, I want to make this even better now because I want the game to show you, to tell you how many guesses you have left. Otherwise, it's just we don't know. We wouldn't know. Well, the person playing the game wouldn't know, but us as the developer of the game, we hard coded this limit to 5. So in here, in our inputs, where where should I put this? I think in our hints is probably the best places. So for example, we'll change the string to a formatted string, and after this guess higher, you have, and then we'll pass in our guess limit variable here. And same thing down here. You're gonna up here, make this a formatted string. You have all right. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, if we run our game again, it should tell us how many guesses we have left. So again, going right to 50. That's working. So it's saying they guess lower. You have 4. I need to change that to have like more information. So it's gonna throw a bunch of numbers out there. So it's gonna be guess. You have guesses left. All right, and down here as well, left. So you're saying guess lower you have, and then it's gonna pull whatever value is in our guess variable, blah, guesses left. So now this should look a little bit better. So run our script, and so 60. Guess higher, you have 4 guesses left, so 79. Lower, 70 to 70. Lower, 75. Guess low, you have 1 guess left. I don't know, 68. Nope, I lost. Maybe 5 guesses is too low. I think I just suck at this game. There's one other thing that we need to talk about here, because we're not doing any sort of error handling. We're not checking to see if the user are putting in the correct data types or even a number. You know, what if somebody put in like instead of a number here, they put in a character? That, that will break our game, and I can show you. So we're gonna go ahead and run this game again. And here where it says, please guess a number from 1 to 100. I'm not gonna put a number. I'm gonna go ahead and put in fish. And as you can see here, it threw a value error, invalid literal for integers with base 10. Basically, it's saying that it can't convert a string to an int. So we need to handle that. So the way we do that here is we'll use a try except block, and we're going to be wrapping that around this right here. So this can we're going to check if the user is passing in, or try to see if the user is passing in a valid information. If they put in something like fish, we're going to go ahead and handle that and just throw it back to them and say, hey, that's not a number. Please try again. So the way we do that is we use a try, and within a try, we need to indent this bit of code and just say try. And we already know what the exception is. It is a value error. So we'll say except value error. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a custom print statement saying, dude, that is not a number. Please guess another number from 1 to 100. All right. I think, and then also obviously we have to say continue here. So we'll continue this, and we just loop back to the beginning of the game and have them try again. All right. Let's make sure this everything runs good. I don't like how VS Code automatically move this bit of code down to the next line, but it's not VS Code. It's actually PEP 8, PEP 8, but whatever. It's fine. Let's go ahead and run this now. Let's test this again. So please guess a number from 1 to 100. I'm going to put in Michael. Dude, that is not a number. Please guess again. Please guess another number from 1 to 100. Please guess, and then it go back. I guess at that point we don't really need this other statement, because that's just repeating what I already wrote up here. So what is that? Please guess a number from 1 to 100. Dude, that is not a. Please guess another number. Continue. Well, I think that's fine. Yeah, whatever. I'll just remove this, and should be okay. So let's go back here. Say 50. Guess higher. 65, 76. Guess higher, 88. Hey, I actually hit it. I got a correct answer. All right, cool. So, yeah, I think this is it. You know, it's a cool little guessing game program. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. This game is complete. I mean, it's a very basic game there, but what else can we do to make it better? I don't know. If you guys have any idea, go ahead and put it down in the comment section, and we'll see about making that, implementing that in a later video. If you guys want the source code to this video, I will go ahead and post it onto my GitHub. You can find it in the link below. If you guys like what you guys are seeing, I'm filling this new tutorial out. You know, I see a lot of you know, Python programming tutorial out there to show you how to do certain things. You know, like work with functions, work with classes, object-oriented programming. But I don't really see too much of, you know, people showing you how to build stuff. You know, stuff that you can use, useful stuff. Obviously, this is not useful stuff. This game is not really useful, but it's you know, can make you less bored. You know, later on we'll do more things like, you know, create a script to automate some boring tasks that you guys are doing every single day. Or later on we'll make a full-blown web application that, you know, people can sign up to, maybe even buy something, leave a comment, email you, you know, process payment. Yeah, we can do anything with Python. Python is great. So thanks, guys, and please help support my channel. This is a brand new channel. I'm just starting out here, so help me out by liking my videos and hitting subscribe, so that, you know, it motivates me to know that, hey, you know what, people are actually watching my videos and actually liking it, and that makes me want to keep making more videos for you guys. So, all right, that's all I want to say. Thanks, everybody, and have a good day.